Hey everyone, I'm Sophia with Awaken Catholic, and this is Awaken the Saint. Today we celebrate the feast of a man who simply couldn't be discouraged, Saint William of Vercelli. William was born in northwest Italy in 1085. His parents died when he was still a boy, and was raised by a relative who brought him up in the faith. While he had always been of noble stock and lived a life of relative ease, William was also deeply faithful, even as a boy. While still a young teen, he left his home and ventured out into the world, starting with a pilgrimage to Santiago de Compostela. He took few of his possessions, determined to renounce his riches and live off whatever God provided. The only thing he carried with him was an iron implement that he wore around his body. Its sole purpose was to increase his suffering and make the journey more difficult. William successfully completed his journey to Santiago de Compostela, and seeing how well it had gone, decided he might as well continue to travel as a pilgrim. He set off for Jerusalem with every intent to see the Holy Land for himself. But when he reached South Italy, he was attacked by bandits. The thieves beat him up and robbed him for almost everything he had. But William, who had already decided to sever his attachment to worldly things, was not particularly discouraged. He took this unfortunate incident as a sign from God that he should remain where he was. So he settled in southern Italy on the summit of Monte Vergine, where he lived as a hermit. Much to his surprise, he developed a reputation as a holy man. And even in his secluded location, many people flocked to him. With the number of people who wished to follow his example increasing at an alarming rate, William formed a religious community and founded a church at that location. But not all of his new colleagues were interested in leading the kind of extreme austerities he practiced, so he decided to go elsewhere. He traveled to several other areas to found more monasteries, eventually settling down in Goledo, which is where he would remain for about 14 years. In 1142, he died and was buried at the monastery in Goledo. In 1807, his remains were moved back to Monte Vergine. William was famous for a number of miracles during his life. However, he is best known for one particular miracle story. During the building of the church at Monte Vergine, a wolf came into the area and killed one of the donkeys. The donkey, which had been incredibly helpful in transporting materials and doing other work, was a serious loss. So William scolded the wolf and started ordering it around. To everyone's shock and amazement, the wolf instantly became docile and started performing the donkey's tasks as directed. Because of this miracle, depictions of William often feature a domesticated wolf at his side. When everything in our lives seems to be going wrong, it's very easy to be paralyzed by our doubts. Sometimes we can become so afraid of failure that it's difficult to motivate ourselves to do anything. In those moments, we can say a prayer to our friend Saint William, whose greatest attribute was his ability to do what he could and when he could, full of confidence that God's will would be done. Saint William of Vercelli, pray for us.